Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful concepts in the world of finance, a concept that has the potential to shape your financial future in ways you might not even realize. It's a concept so powerful that Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds in history, once referred to it as the eighth wonder of the world. This concept is known as compound interest. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is compound interest and why is it so important? The answer is simple, yet profound. Compound interest is the interest on a loan or deposit that is calculated based on both the initial principal and the accumulated interest from previous periods. In simpler terms, compound interest is interest on interest. Think of it like this. When you deposit money into a savings account or invest in a bond, you not only earn interest on your initial deposit, but also on the interest that has already been added to your account. Over time, this cycle of earning interest on both your original investment and the interest itself can result in exponential growth of your wealth. Let me break it down with an example. Imagine you invest $1,000 into an account that earns an interest rate of 5% per year. In the first year, you would earn $50 in interest, 5% of $1,000. But in the second year, you don't just earn interest on your initial 1,000. Instead, you earn interest on $1,050, the original $1,000 plus the $50 interest you earned in the first year. So in the second year, your interest would be 52 plate 50, bringing your total to $1,000. The next year, you'd earn interest on $11 simple. This process continues year after year, with the amount of interest you earn increasing each time. At first, this growth might seem slow, but as the years go by, the effect becomes increasingly noticeable. Over time, your money starts to work for you. And this is the magic of compound interest. Small, consistent growth can lead to substantial results. The longer your money has to grow, the more significant the impact of compound interest will be. To understand just how powerful compound interest can be, let's look at the impact of time. Let's say you're 25 years old and you start saving $100 per month in an account that earns an average annual return of. If you continue saving this amount every month until you're 65, you will have contributed a total of $48,000. But here's the fascinating part. The total value of your investment at 65 will be much greater than $48,000. Thanks to compound interest. In fact, by the time you turn 65, your investment could be worth over. This example illustrates something incredibly important about compound interest. Time is your ally. The earlier you start investing or saving, the more time your money has to grow. Even if you can only invest a small amount at first, the longer you allow it to compound, the more significant the return will be. But let's also consider the opposite side of the coin. While compound interest can work in your favor when you're saving and investing, it can also work against you when you're dealing with debt. This is something many people don't fully understand. When you borrow money, such as through a credit card or a loan, you're often charged interest on both the amount you borrowed and any accumulated interest. This is the principle of compound interest, but in a negative sense. For example, let's say you have a credit card balance of $2,000 with an interest rate of 20% per year. In the first year, you would owe $400 in interest, making your total balance. In the second year, you would owe interest not only on your original $2,000, but also on the $400 interest that was added in the first year. So at the end of the second year, your debt would grow. The longer you allow this interest to compound, the more difficult it becomes to pay off the debt. This is why it's crucial to be mindful of high-interest debt and try to pay it off as quickly as possible. So how can you harness the power of compound interest to your advantage? The first step is start early. As I mentioned earlier, the sooner you begin saving or investing, the more time your money has to grow. It's easy to think that you can wait until later to start saving for retirement or building wealth. But the truth is that time is your greatest asset. Even if you start with small contributions, the effect of compound interest over time can be extraordinary. The second step is to be consistent. It's not enough to make a single deposit or investment and then forget about it. To truly take advantage of compound interest, you need to make regular contributions to your savings or investments. This could mean setting up automatic transfers into a savings account or investment fund each month. By being consistent, you ensure that your money continues to grow steadily year after year. The third step is to be patient. Compound interest isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a long-term strategy that requires patience and discipline. The key to maximizing the benefits of compound interest is to let your money grow over time. Resist the temptation to pull out your funds prematurely. The longer you leave your money to compound, the greater the reward. But don't worry, there are ways to make sure your money is working as hard as possible for you. For example, you can choose investments that offer higher returns over time. Historically, the stock market has provided an average annual return of around 7 to 10%, which is much higher than traditional savings accounts or bonds. Of course, the stock market carries more risk, but with a well-diversified portfolio, the potential for higher returns can significantly enhance the power of compound interest. Another way to boost the power of compound interest is to reinvest your earnings. If you're earning interest or dividends from an investment, consider reinvesting those earnings instead of cashing them out. By reinvesting, you allow your money to keep compounding on itself, leading to faster growth. Many retirement accounts, such as 401ks or IRAs, are designed to encourage reinvestment, which is why they are such powerful tools for building long-term wealth. It's also important to stay informed. The world of finance and investment is constantly evolving, and there are always new opportunities to make your money work harder for you. Stay up to date on the latest trends and financial tools, and don't be afraid to seek advice from financial professionals. By educating yourself and making informed decisions, you can maximize the impact of compound interest. In conclusion, compound interest is a simple but incredibly powerful concept that can transform your financial future. Whether you're saving for retirement, building an emergency fund, or simply looking to grow your wealth, understanding the power of compound interest is essential. By starting early, being consistent, and exercising patience, you can harness the full potential of this powerful financial tool. Remember, time is on your side, and the earlier you begin, the more your money will grow. So make a plan, start investing, and watch as your wealth compounds over time. The magic of compound interest is real, and it has the power to change your financial life forever. Compound interest operates on the principle of earning interest on interest, which leads to exponential growth over time. This is what makes it such a powerful tool for building wealth. When you invest or save money, you don't just earn interest on the amount you initially deposited, but also on any interest that accumulates. As this process continues, the total amount of interest earned increases at an accelerating rate. This effect is a result of time. Essentially, the longer your money has to grow, the greater the compound interest effect becomes. The key to fully harnessing the power of compound interest is to start as early as possible. When you begin saving or investing at a young age, you give your money more time to compound, which can result in a substantial growth of your wealth. For example, someone who starts investing at age 25 will see much greater returns by age 65 than someone who starts at 35, even if the latter contributes more each year. The additional 10 years of compounding give the first investor a significant advantage, as the growth isn't just linear but exponential. Even if you can only afford to invest a small amount at the start, the magic of compound interest means that those small, consistent contributions will add up over time. It's not about how much you invest initially, but how long your money is allowed to grow. This highlights why starting early is critical. Time magnifies the benefits of compound interest, turning even modest amounts of money into considerable wealth. So the earlier you begin, the more you stand to gain as your investments continue to earn interest on both your principal and the accumulated interest. To truly unlock the full potential of compound interest, consistency is essential. While starting early is important, the key to maximizing growth lies in making regular, consistent contributions to your savings or investments over time. Compound interest thrives on the principle of steady, compounded growth. Every time you add more to your account, you increase the base amount that interest is applied to, which in turn leads to more significant growth. Whether it's setting up automatic monthly deposits into a savings account, contributing regularly to a retirement plan, or reinvesting dividends from investments like stocks or bonds, consistent contributions can make a big difference in how quickly your wealth grows. Each time you add money, you're essentially increasing the amount of interest on interest that your account will generate in future periods. This regular addition of funds acts as a multiplier, accelerating the compounding effect and boosting the growth of your investments. The more often you invest, the faster your wealth can compound. It's not only about making a large initial deposit, it's about continuously feeding your investment. This is why strategies like dollar cost averaging, where you invest a fixed amount at regular intervals regardless of market conditions, are popular. With this approach, you're consistently investing without worrying about timing the market. Over time, the effect of regular contributions compounds, leading to exponential growth. Even if you start with a smaller amount, the habit of investing consistently will build momentum, and the results can be surprising. Consistency in contributing to your savings or investment portfolio, paired with the power of compound interest, can result in wealth that grows steadily and substantially over time. While compound interest can be an incredible force for growing wealth, it can have a devastating effect when applied to debt. The key difference is that when you're in debt, especially high interest debt like credit card balances or payday loans, compound interest works against you. Instead of helping you grow your savings, it accelerates the amount you owe, leading to potentially overwhelming financial burdens. In the case of high interest debt, interest is calculated not only on the amount you originally borrowed, the principal, but also on any interest that has been added to your balance. This means that every month, your debt grows larger and larger as you're charged interest on both the original debt and any accumulated interest. For example, if you have a credit card balance of $2,000 with an annual interest rate of 20%, you will owe an additional $400 in interest over the course of the year. If you don't pay off that balance, you're essentially paying interest on your interest, and your total debt will continue to grow exponentially. This is where high interest debt can spiral out of control. If you only make the minimum payment each month, most of that payment is just covering the interest, leaving very little to actually pay down the principal. As a result, the debt can linger for years, draining your finances and preventing you from building wealth. To avoid this trap, it's crucial to prioritize paying off high interest debt as quickly as possible. The longer you allow it to compound, the harder it becomes to get out from under it. By paying down high interest debt aggressively, you free up more of your money to invest and save, allowing the power of compound interest to work in your favor instead of against you. Avoiding or eliminating high interest debt is a foundational step in achieving financial stability and ultimately building wealth.